Hi. Well, let's make the best of this. I'm going to do examples and hopefully these will help you with your homework. And we start with the problem given y equal 3x plus 1. Find solution points for x equals 0, x equal 2, and x equal negative 3. So I'm going to make a little xy table. Put in these x values. To find solution points means we plug in those x values into our formula. When x is 0, we get 3 times 0 plus 1, which is just 1. When x is 2, y is 3 times 2, 6 plus 1 is 7. And when x is negative 3, 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Added to 1 is negative 8. Now we're also going to plot these because that's part of this section is plotting points. So I'm going to construct a grid here, or a coordinate axis, and we'll plot these. Okay, so I've constructed my axis here. I paused the camera so you're not sitting around waiting for that. And we plot these points. 0, 1, x is 0, y is 1 is this point right here on the y-axis. When x is 2, y is 7. The point right up here. And then the last solution point, negative 3, negative 8, is way down here where x is negative 3 and y is negative 8. And it's like I have in the course book or notes. This is like a battleship game where you have two coordinates, one with the x, one with the y, and then we just find out where the point goes based on those coordinates. Okay, now I have a problem for you to try. Find solution points for y equals negative 2x plus 3 when x is 0, x equal 1, x equal 2. And then plot these on the coordinate axis. And pause the video and try on your own, because you can't really learn this by just watching me do it. Try these and then come back and we'll go through this. Okay, so to find the solution points, we just plug in the x values. When x is 0, y is negative 2 times 0 plus 3 is just 3. When x is 1, y is negative 2 times 1, which is negative 2 plus 3 is 1. And when x is 2, y is negative 2 times 2 makes negative 4. So negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. Okay, so now we plot these 3 points. 0, 3, x equals 0, y equal 3 is on the y-axis. So that's the point up here. 1, 1, x equal 1, y equal 1 is this point. And x equal 2, y equal negative 1 is this point right down here. And if you notice, all the points line up in a line. And that's because this is a linear equation. And we'll talk about that more in the coming sections. Okay, next problem. Given y equal 1/3 x minus 2, find and plot solution points when x equals 0, x equals 6, and x equal negative 3. So here we have a fraction involved in our equation. So we plug in 0 for x, and we get 0. 1/3 times 0 is 0, minus 2 is negative 2. When x is 6, 1/3 times 6 is 6/3, which is 2 minus 2, which gives us 0. And when x is negative 3, Negative 3 times a third is negative 3/3, which is negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. Okay, now we're going to plot these points. Okay, we plot 0, negative 2, x is 0, y is negative 2. That's right on the y-axis. We plot 6, 0, which is on the x-axis. And then we plot the point negative 3, which is down here. And again, these points line up in a line. And if you notice something, because my x values were multiples of 3, the fraction canceled out. That's a nice thing to remember when we're plotting lines. Okay, here's a problem for you to try. Given y equals 1/4 x minus 1, find and plot solution points when x equals 0, x equal negative 4, and x equal positive 4. So y equals 1/4 x minus 1. Okay, pause the video and try it on your own. Okay, when x equals 0, 1/4 times 0 is just 0, minus 1 is negative 1. When x is 4, 1/4 times 4 is 4/4, minus 1 is 1 minus 1, which is 0. And when x is negative 4, we get negative 4/4 minus 1, which is negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Okay, now we plot these. So 0, negative 1, x is 0, y is negative 1, is this point on the y-axis. X is 4, y is 0, that's on the x-axis. X is negative 4, y is negative 2 is the point down here where y is negative 2 and x is negative 4. And again, the points line up. And for all these graphs in the 4.1 homework, the points should line up, except for number 1, which is a scatter plot. Those points are kind of scattered all over. Okay, the next problem is like number 5. We're just finding solution points. We're not going to graph them. We're just going to find the solution points. And here we have, if y equal 1/2 x minus 1/4, find solution points for x equal 1/2 and x equal 1/3. So we just plug those values of x in. If x is 1/2, y is 1/2 times 1/2 minus 1/4. So y is 1/4 minus 1/4, which is 0. So one of my solution points is 1/2, 0. Okay, now the other one. If x is 1/3, y is 1/2 times 1/3 minus 1/4, which is 1/6 minus 1/4. And here we need the common denominator of 12ths. So y is 1/6 minus 1/4. We have to multiply the 6 by 2 and the 1 by 2 and the 4 by 3 and the 1 by 3. So we get 2/12 minus 3/12. And that makes negative 1/12. So our second solution point is 1/3, negative 1/12. So here's our answer given as two ordered pairs. Okay, here's a problem for you. If y equals 1/2 x minus 1/8, find solution points for x equal 1/4 and x equal 1/3, and you don't have to plot them. So give this a try, pause the video, and try it on your own. Okay, let's run through this. If x is 1/4, y is 1/2 times 1/4 minus 1/8, which is 1/8 minus 1/8. Remember, when you multiply fractions, you don't have to have common denominators. You just multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. You can cancel first, but here there's nothing to cancel. 1/8 minus 1/8 is 0. So our first solution point is 1/4, 0. Now the second one. If x is 1/3, y is 1/2 times 1/3 minus 1/8, which is 1/6 minus 1/8. And we need common denominators here. And the least common denominator is 24. 48 also works, but 24 is the smallest common denominator. So we'll use that one. Multiply 6 by 4, multiply 1 by 4, multiply 8 by 3, and 1 by 3. So that gives us 4 24ths minus 3 24ths. Which is 1/24. So our second solution point is 1/3, 1/24. So these are the two things we're looking for in this problem. Okay, well that's it for the review problems of 4.1. If you have other questions, you can post them on discussions in the 4.1 topic. Have a great day.